All right, so inshallah, bismillah, we'll start. We don't have much to present. We don't want to present a lot of things, but we can do a quick revision, maybe because just to have your trust back for the final exam, inshallah.
Okay, inshallah.
So we're there. Okay, we'll share the screen now, inshallah. Okay. So our exam, inshallah, it will start from lecture 7. So we already finished lecture 1 to 6, so it's not included. So everybody needs to make sure they finish their exams, the previous exams, because we try to make it much lighter than before, than having midterm and final, and it's a lot. So from starting lecture 7, 8, 9, 10, 4 lectures will be for the final exam. And we did the quizzes to help also for, how the exam could be, or just to have a clue how the question could be. And this matter, if you remember in Islamic ruling, it is lecture number 4. It is taklifi rule. Actually, we took it before, and all the students, they already studied about it. So in Jumhur, if you remember the Jumhur meaning, Jumhur, if somebody, one of the scholars, they don't agree. So like, for example, Hanafi, he is different than the others. Okay, so Shafi'i, Maliki, Hanbali, they are the Jumhur. So 3 out of 4. So there are 4 of them actually. One of them is disagreeing. So Hanafi, he had 7 taklifi rule division. Taklifi rule division. Okay, so when the exam comes, you need to focus. All right, so you have 7 taklifi rule divisions in that. The added in Hanafi, he has fard. And the second one, he has makruh muharram. But makruh mustahab or tanzih is the same one in Jumhur. So Jumhur, they have wajib, they don't have fard, because wajib and fard is the same. They have mandub, mubah, makruh, only one type. The makruh is the same type of this makruh mustahab, it's the same type. And muharram. So they have 5 divisions. The only difference is Hanafi, they did what? The wajib, they have fard and wajib, and makruh, they have 2 divisions. They have makruh muharram and makruh mustahab. And each one of them, we explain about the definition. And mubah, what is mubah? Something that is allowed, to give permission to do it. Okay. And the other thing is makruh, as we said, makruh, we have 2 types. As we said, makruh mustahab or tanzih, and makruh. Yani they have the same, but this one is almost the same. Tanzih is the same one here. Okay, mustahab is the same one. But the other one, which it is different, is makruh muharram. So makruh muharram definition, what is forbidden by Sharia, and it has been approved in another evidence by qiyas, another thing. This is what is makruh muharram. But if we say this is muharram, this is fard for Hanafi, meaning it is a must, يعني something from the Quran and from the Sunnah. And makruh language, something is not wanted, it is disliked. Something preferable, you don't do it. Okay? All right. Muharram, we said forbidden, and of course, Muharram, this is as a general evidence or a specific evidence came from Allah Azza wa Jal. You are not allowed to eat the pork. So this is an evidence, this is in the Quran. And the Prophet Muhammad Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam also, he said, we are not allowed to eat the pork. So we have all the evidence for surely that we have, this is a strictly evident. But only makruh muharram, as you say here, by other evidence. It doesn't mean it doesn't have, it has, but maybe by qiyas. The qiyas, as we explained it before, meaning of the qiyas is we have something, we don't know the matter of it, but we brought we equal it with something else, like when we give the example about the alcohol and the drugs. So the drugs, it became new, and they see the what is the outcome of the drugs. They saw the person gets really in bad condition, and it harms the person, and this person also, he can lose his life because of having these drugs. So it's almost like the alcohol. So this is what is called qiyas. So they evaluated same as the effect of the other things, and then they said preferable not to do it. So this is tanzih muharram. But tanzih muharram, it is less than muharram. Muharram, it is for sure forbidden, you can't. Makruh maybe probably could or not be done, but preferable not to do. It depends on the situation. All right. Then we went to the other lecture. Again, we revised what is the meaning of Islamic ruling in the taklifi rule. Again, we repeated again. And then we reminded ourselves we have hukum taklifi and hukum wad'i. Hukum taklifi, it is an action that we asked to follow. Okay. And hukum wad'i, anything that the rule that is, it's assigned to it. It's assigned to the rule. For example, we give an example for the wudu. If I want to have wudu, if I want to pray, then Allah, He told us to pray. But there is another ayah which it says, if you want to get up to pray, then you shall have wudu, or you have to be in a pure position, that to do ghusl, wudu, and in that way. Okay, so this is becoming hukum wad'i. Even if salah is a must, then if Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala only mentions salah, then this is hukum taklifi. This is a must that you have to do. But hukum wad'i, if Allah, He put a sign to something to perform it, it has to be with it. Like for example, Shahr Ramadan, if you want to fast Ramadan, you need to see the hilal. It is a specific evidence in the Quran. If you see the hilal, fast. So He put a sign to that. He connected as a purpose why I have to, subhanallah, when I can fast, when you see the hilal. If you don't see the hilal, then, or the time it didn't occur, then we shall not fast. For example, we will not fast in Shawwal if the time didn't come. We will not going to fast in, for example, in Dhul Qa'dah. So when Ramadan is coming near and the last of Sha'ban, just hold on. Okay, I'm sorry. You can see the screen, sisters?
Yes.
Okay. All right, so we continue as a revision. All right, so the hukum taklifi is the thing which it's a must, like siyam is a must, yes. Salah is a must, yes. But Allah, when He put something, how to do it, or if you want to get up for the salah, then you have to have wudu. So He put the validity of the salah attached with the wudu. So the wudu, it is not a must. The wudu, it is not a must until I go to pray. This is the only evidence we have. So are you going to put wudu in everything? I want to go to work, I will do wudu. Do you have an evidence for that? No, we don't have an evidence for that. But Allah Azza wa Jal, He attached this wudu with the salah. So this is called hukum wad'i. Salah is a must, yes, this is taklifi. Siyam is a must, it is taklifi. But if Allah, He specify how to do it or when to do it, For example, as we said, the hilal with the Ramadan and the wudu with salah, then this is the whole statement is going to be hukum wada'i. This is what we took in these lessons as a general, as a summary for the last lectures which we took. Then we enter to the taklif pillars. Please pay attention on the taklif pillars. Don't get confused. Yani, subhanallah, what do I mean don't get confused? Because maybe we have a lot of divisions, right? We have taklif pillars, we have mukallaf, or the taklif pillars, we have the condition of the person that you give the assign, the person who's going to do this action, he has conditions. So don't mix this one and this one. And also don't mix between the requested to do is taklif, the taklif by itself. Allah, when he asks us to do something, for example, when he asks us to do salah, yes, he asks us to do salah, but everyone is going to do salah? Or there is a certain people who's going to do salah? The person or the lady which she has her period, she's going to do the salah or not? Okay, so subhanallah, not everyone who's going to do, is the child is requested to do the salah? Anybody can answer. Let us have the discussion as understanding now the material, because those days we were taking as a lecture, now as understanding the material. So the child is requested to do salah. This is the taklif requirements. What are the requirements? What are the conditions? So don't mix between them. So actually in this lecture, we finished mukallaf, we finish mukallaf. Don't mix between mukallaf and mukallaf. Mukallaf with I, he's the one who gives us the order. Who is that? Allah. Mukallaf, the person who is receiving the order from Allah and he's doing it. What he does, what he's requested to do. This is taklif. This is taklif. And we explained it in the coming lesson. The order that it comes to us, how this taklif come to us? By the speech of Allah Azza wa Jal, or the hadith of the Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam, anything that we have been ordered to do it, which it comes from the Allah. Who will order us to do that? Is Allah Azza wa Jal, he will order us to do that. All right, so now we will go to the taklif pillars as we explained. And then we have mukallaf. All right, now we have the mukallaf. Who does the order? This is what we're going to focus on. And this mukallaf has condition. This mukallaf has condition. Please make sure that you differentiate between the pillars and the condition. Okay, so we go back again. Taklif pillars is different and mukallaf condition is different. Okay, mukallaf condition, you have maturity, you have mind stability, and you have choice, and you have Islam. And then when we went to the coming lecture, we talked about the taklif condition. The taklif condition, you have known, not existing, possible, and impossible. And as we explained, possible and impossible, that this is what the scholars, they disagree about it. And we explained it, if you can go back to the audios or the videos again. So known as agreed with the scholars, and this one also agreed with the scholars, but possible and impossible, it has been disagreed by the scholars, that we explained it more in the last in lecture number 9, okay? And here we explained why. Here is the explanation. You will find it, inshallah. It is very simple. I think so it was maybe 20 minutes, the class. Then we went to the lecture number 10. Lecture number 10, we have the Wadhei division, because we already finished the taklifi. You remember we took the taklifi pillars, we took the mukallaf condition, and we have the taklif condition. Then we enter to the Wadhei division. You remember the Wadhei, we just now explained about it. The Wadhei is the ayah which it comes, and it says salah and wudu, salah and wudu. So when salah and wudu comes together, then خلاص, this is حكم وضعي. And the وضعي, it has divisions. It has many things. For example, reasons, condition, علة, stopping from perform, invalid, corrupt, performing, okay? Or we have, for example, قضاء, we have repeating, we have allowing. We need to read this very carefully, what it comes under it. But as a simple, just I want to refresh with you or the students who didn't come before. For example, invalid. What does invalid means? And corrupt. Invalid, corrupt, it has two meanings. Invalid is the action that you do it and actually it is not allowed. When you start doing it, it is actually is not allowed. يعني for example, Eid al-Fitr, to fast on this day, it is not allowed. يعني doing the action, it is not allowed. And corrupt, that you corrupt whatever you do. For example, you went for the Hajj and you did something that you're not supposed to do and you break your Hajj. Or you went to Umrah and you went and you cut your hair, for example, and then you enter for the, you didn't finish your Umrah and you cut your hair. It is not allowed. So as if you corrupted your ibadah which you started with, okay? So this is called corrupt. Reasons, why do I do this? The reason is when I see the hilal, then I can fast. The illah, it is the rule that it applies when the related issue it appears, like such as what? Like when the person is drunk, then the matter is applied on this person. If the person is not drunk, why I go and tell him, drinking alcohol is haram. Okay, the person didn't drink. So why do I go and apply on him on this condition? So this is what is the meaning of the illah. When it happens, then the rule applies to this person. Qada, covering. For example, the lady, she wasn't able to fast in Ramadan, for example, and she had to fast after Ramadan. So this is called qada. You cannot do it at the same time. It has to be done after finishing the period which is required, okay? And stopping to perform. Stopping to perform, there is a reason. Something stopped me not to perform this thing. For example, the salah or the fasting because of the period. The lady, she has her own period, or maybe she delivered the baby. Something happened, or this person is sick, okay? This person traveled, okay? So it stopped the person not to perform the salah, for example, or the fast. Allowing means something happened and you need to have it from hard to ease, such as eating dead animals. If you choked, for example, and you're in a place where you just can find only alcohols, the Islam doesn't tell you go and die. Drink what you can drink to swallow the thing which you choked to help you to survive. If you find dead animal and you need to survive and you are like in the last stage, then you're allowed, but doesn't mean that you have to do it every day. Just for that moment that you feel like you are to the edge of your, subhanallah. So this is Islam is ease, is always choosing between the middle of everything. It is not hard, it's not here, it's not there, but it is always in the middle. Islam wasatiyya, it is in the middle, always easing the issues to the people. Till here we finished. This is all about the exam, of the final exam. And I gave you the summary of everything that we took. And inshallah, if you focus on these points, you will be having, inshallah, full marks. All right. So we wanted to have a very close discussion between the students. If we can share knowledge that what did we learn and how can we apply what we learned from this in reality. Now, this is what we're gonna do today, inshallah. All right, so let me ask a question. I asked a question last week and I dropped it also in the group, okay? One of the things, one of the sisters, before she called me and she asked, sister, is it allowed to eat shrimp? So I said, why it's not allowed? There is an evidence for that. She asked, there is some tribes, Islamic tribes, they're saying that we are not allowed to eat shrimp. So it was a very interesting topic. If everybody they're sharing with another people and some people they come and tell you something, and you're not sure about it. So this is how we start learning how to get our evidence. There is something called general evidence, and there is a specific evidence. Do you know how to differentiate between them? What is the general evidence and what is the specific evidence? Just a general question, it's not an exam. I'm not sure if Sister Maryam, she's there, Sister Fatima, she's there.
I think it's general.
What is general and what is specific?
Specific is from the Quran and the Sunnah.
And the general?
And the general is what you do. I think it's the way how, if you want or not, because it's in your opinion by yourself, general.
Okay. And what about Sister Maryam? Do you have a different opinion since you studied for the exam in the midterm?
Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.
Wa alaikum assalam wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.
I think the general evidence comes from the Sunnah and the Quran.
And the specific?
Also the specific is specific evidence also is from the Quran and Sunnah, but this one, like if it's Salah, it will go into detail.
It will be more specific?
It will be more specific, as in it will be like your Salah is general, but it doesn't apply to everyone. Like there is a condition. Is it a condition? There is a person who is, the mind is stable, is the one who is supposed to perform the Salah, and the person who is mature. And it will be going.
Very nice, very nice, very nice. يعني a very nice يعني alhamdulillah, you did it very well. So let us have our general discussion. How to apply on what we learned. Okay. All right, so what you explained it is beautiful, all of you, but yes, the general evidence, it comes from the Quran, it comes from the Sunnah, and also the specific evidence, it comes from the Quran and it comes from the Sunnah, and it can be more than that also, okay? It can be qiyas, it can be, you know, but both of them, they come from the Quran and Sunnah. This is number one. So when I ask for the assignment, find for me, is the shrimp is allowed in general evidence, as in from the Quran and Sunnah in general, and specific. What did I mean by that? Is if the ayah comes, for example, it covers that Allah Azza wa Jal, He explained it in one of the surah, Surah Al-Nahl, everything that Allah Azza wa Jal, He specified for us, whatever inside the sea, it is allowed to eat. He didn't specify anything that is haram. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, He said halal, everything what is inside the sea. So this is a general evidence. But since somebody asked, is shrimp? So this is question answering number one, general. It is allowed as a general answer that Allah, He said, everything in the sea, whatever I created in the sea, it is halal for you to eat. This is general. To go specific, then we go to see the matter of shrimp, is it allowed or not? Is it part of the halal or not? This is the meaning of a specific. Okay, I hope till here is fine.
Alhamdulillah.
Okay, till here is fine, Sister Fatima?
Yeah, okay.
Okay, so now we continue. So the girls, they got the evidence which they sent it on the group. That was general evidence. General evidence from the ayah translated, they sent general, but nobody specified or sent me an answer about the shrimp, is it allowed or not, as a specific. Why? Because there's nothing.
Yeah.
Okay, and whatever, when we started these lectures, we said whatever Allah Azza wa Jal, He didn't talk about it as mubah, then it is mubah. Unless there is a matter, it comes and it says this is forbidden. Or a case came, or something equal, or qiyas, or then if we didn't find from the Quran and Sunnah, then we go to qiyas. We didn't find in qiyas, then we go to ijma'. The scholars, what did they say, all of them? Then if we didn't find, then we tried little by little, we go to another degree. So if we didn't find, خلاص. So for example, nobody found anything from the Sunnah about the shrimp, so nobody could answer, or nobody sent it on the group actually. So now if somebody comes to us and they said this is not allowed, how can we answer them? We go and check the general, and then we go to find the specific. If we didn't find from the Quran and Sunnah, then we go and check the scholars. Now we check the scholars. What did the scholars say? All of them, they said whatever from the sea is allowed. Part of that is the shrimp. So I mean, nobody shall come to you and make your doubts or make you in doubt. You know how to start researching to find the answers. Now, even if you will enter inside the Google and find out, but you need to be wise. Is this from the Quran? Is this from Sahih Bukhari or Sahih Muslim, this hadith? Okay, you need to make sure. Who gave this hadith? Is this hadith Sahih or this is a weak hadith? Sometimes the weak hadith we don't take يعني, as an evidence, okay? But the other we take as an evidence like Sahih. Okay, till here is clear. This is what actually we are taking the evidence that it comes on our hands, how to evaluate it. How can I make sure if this is the evidence that I get, it is valid? All right. Okay, now let me ask you another question, just to have fun, to see if you understood. All right, is it allowed to eat shark?
Yes.
Why?
Because all the food that
I cannot hear you, Sister Mariam.
I'm saying because the Quran says all the food that come from the sea is halal, it's okay.
Did you find anything in the specific talked about the shark?
No, that's general. They didn't specify.
Okay, the kind of these kind of specified, be careful, because there is another tribe not in Sunni. They're not in a Sunni tribe. They are talking about these kind of things. So the person who brought the sources and said this is allowed, this is not allowed, actually you can find it in another, not even in Sunnah people or people who's following the Sunnah, not even in Hanafi, neither in Shafi'i or in Maliki or in Hanafi. It's not in this. Okay, you will find it in another tribe which they are not following the Sunnah actually. And you can find it in, which I don't want to talk about it in this lecture, but it is another tribe than Sunnah who's talking about this. So some people, they're getting confused. They don't know who they sit with. They don't know they are taking their knowledge from whom. So
Yeah, because
yes,
they say that the shark is carnivorous.
yes, because
That's why
because it's like they call it that al-aniyab. Yani they took it as a reason because what we are for example, lion. Can we eat lion?
No.
Okay, so they took it as like they have long teeth, they eat, they are very, you know, so they made the shark is the same thing. You understand me?
Yeah,
But it's good to follow the Sunnah, only the Sunnah and the Quran strictly, right?
but
Exactly, exactly. I mean, some people, they decided from their mind, as the sister she said, general, maybe it's from the mind. No, general is not from the mind. So some people evaluated things from the mind. This is the problem between, يعني, this is actually, it teach you how is aqidah. You know what is aqidah? Aqidah is not only belief. How did we believe? How did we start believing? Did we believe we have something in our mind only as fitrah, or actually we had an evidence, then we believed? Now this is a very, now we entered in Tawheed here, almost. Okay, now we enter to Aqidah. I want to ask you this question because it's important. Did you enter because you thought and you entered, then you followed the evidence, or you follow the evidence and then you believe in it?
Followed the evidence and then they believed in it.
Exactly. So this is how the Sunnah they do. You have the evidence. Do you have the evidence? Show me the evidence. Or if you don't have the evidence, خلاص. Yes. But the other people, other tribes, they're following their mu'taqadat. يعني they follow their beliefs and then they go and dig evidence that it go parallel with their beliefs. This is where we need to be careful.
True.
Okay, يعني I'm not saying in Sunnah you can find some evidence, but some people, they take the evidence that it goes with their beliefs to go against it. يعني now when we studied about, for example, Hanafi had a view, and for example, Shafi'i had a view, but actually they didn't disagree between them. يعني both of them, they don't disagree. Actually, they come in the same path. If you notice when we studied this, the fiqh introduction, but everybody explained it in their own way. But actually they had the same intention, same level of knowledge, same everything, same target. But the enemies, they use this, or they manipulate the answers or whatever they advise or the evidence that we have, and they used it to their beliefs, the way that they want it. Okay.
Because they understand differently.
Yes, and they want the people to understand in the way they want.
Yeah.
Okay, another thing, okay, so is it marrying a Jew, a guy, a Muslim guy, he wants to marry a Jew, is it allowed? A Jew
Yes.
lady.
It's allowed. Yes, yes, it's allowed.
Why?
From Al
Because
Kitab.
in the Quran it says so.
Okay, what it says?
Muslim a Muslim man can you can marry the Jews and the Christians like that. I don't remember the exact ayah, but I know I'm sure it's there.
Is it an ayah? It is a hadith? Okay, as long as it's an evidence. Okay,
Yeah,
very nice.
there.
So you have the evidence. If somebody comes to you, oh, it's not allowed, how come? Can you say no, it's not allowed?
No, you'll tell them and then you'll show them the evidence.
Can we use our motion to answer the people like, no, it is not allowed?
No, we'll explain to them and then give them the evidence.
Because of the current situation that we have to disagree, no, we can't. Because from the Quran and Sunnah, it says we are allowed. I mean, Muslim men are allowed to marry a Jews and Christian.
No.
Okay.
Another one. Are we allowed to, the male, is he allowed to wear a ring?
Yes.
Yes, if it's not gold.
Do you have an evidence?
Yeah.
It's nice to talk about evidence. Yeah, tell me. Do you have an evidence if it is allowed?
No, I know they're allowed to wear, but not this thing. What do you call the gold stuff?
Okay, I didn't talk about gold. I just said about ring. Is it allowed to wear a ring?
Yes, it is allowed because Prophet Muhammad did it.
Very well, very well. Yes, he wore Prophet Muhammad, and also the Sahaba, they did. When the Prophet Muhammad ﷺ, he passed away, Abu Bakr, he wore it after Abu Bakr, then Umar, after Umar, then Uthman.
But I think just only one ring, not more than one.
Okay, and now we are not specifying, we're not entering, but I'm just saying in general, is it allowed? Because some people, they will say, okay, why do you act in a way that the non-Muslim wearing rings in their finger? It can come, some people, they can have this kind of the conversation who doesn't have knowledge. They will come and tell you, how come, why you're not wearing is not allowed, remove it, or something like that, And this is what we are trying to talk about it. And this is for today. Barakallahu fikum, jazakumullah khairan. You were a very big support, and I know the sisters, because they have work, and the children and the school and things like that, and preparation. Inshallah, maybe next class, of course, we're gonna surprise you with something, but maybe we can start with the ruqya. Do you know what is ruqya?
Yeah, that's probably we need to do.
We will see if the students, they prefer to start with the ruqya, or we will suggest something very light that everybody can share. And also we'll check the timing again. If maybe now Saturday is not suitable again, we can change the days, inshallah. Okay, barakallahu fikum wa jazakumullah khairan. All the best for you. Sister Maryam, are you sure you finish all your exams?
Not all, just
inshallah, we'll send all the quizzes within this week. Everybody can finish while you're studying, so you can do all the quizzes. Or if you want to do it in the final exam, if you missed something, so you can go to the quizzes and do it also as well. So it's going to be open, inshallah. And I will write again who missed the quizzes, so I will remind everyone who missed what.
Teacher Amna, do I have to register for the Rokia or just automatic?
Inshallah, we will see. Maybe we'll have a different offer with the students. We'll check how it's going to be. So, inshallah, so let us see the surprises, inshallah.
Okay, inshallah.
Inshallah. Barakallah. Salam alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.
Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.